Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Nayeli, and for today's video I am going to be trying and revealing these Ohora gel nails, which are essentially like these gel stickers that you press onto your nails. You also go through the process of curing them a few times for the nail to harden and settle. And yeah, it's supposed to be really simple and easy to do at home while giving you kind of like that gel manicure type of look without having to go to the actual nail salon, which is a really cool idea. I am personally the type of person who does not like to go to the nail salon just because of the price point, and I just feel like I'm very happy with the type of nails that I have. So normally I will just use nail polish, and now with the popularity of press-on nails, I know Kiss has done a lot of the press-on nails, and then they came out with the in-press nails, which I actually like the ones where you had actual glue where you can do it yourself versus the press-on nails, because I feel like it allows for the openings around the edges of the nail to open up more, and then your hair gets stuck in them whenever you pass your fingers through, so it's just not the best. I also recently found a brand called Dashing Diva, which if you guys have gone to Target, you may have found, or in other stores as well. I'm pretty sure that places like Ulta also carry them, and they are, I can't remember how much the Dashing Diva run for, and I think it also probably depends on the actual art of it as well, because some of them will come with gems and things like that. So I think that like $7.99, but the Ohora ones, which I believe can only be found online as of now, their prices also range, but they're normally, from what I could see, anywhere around $10 to about $18 for a set of nails. And the really cool thing about either or brand is that they give you a lot of nails to work with. So if you're able to find your sizes right and everything, you may even be able to use these twice at least. So I think that that's really cool, because you're paying a really low price and you are able to get these nails working for you for about, say, a week or two, and you're really not paying that much money. When I tried the Dashing Diva, I literally did not know what I was doing, so I didn't do too well when I put these on the instructions, which are behind the box. It says to file them on the tips of your nails, and that is, I think, where I made my mistake, because everything up to that point was fine, but I found that just by filing alone and that type of nail, because these are supposed to be like 100% cured, you don't need a lamp or anything like that, as compared to the Ohora ones you do. The difference with this one is that it doesn't harden or anything, so it's really hard to file your nail and to really get essentially a nice looking nail after that. And so I think my mistake with this one was that I followed it to a T as far as the filing goes, and I think that I probably would have benefited from actually cutting the nails with nail clippers or nail scissors, something like that, and then maybe then going on with the file. But even then, I think that because the gel itself is kind of a little bit flimsy, and because it doesn't get cured by a lamp, I found that if I filed a certain way, I think the instructions say to only file one way, I just found myself tearing the actual gel of the nail and just didn't look that great at the end of it. And I'm very meticulous when I do my nails, so it took me a really long time to get a look that I was comfortable with, and even then it definitely wasn't perfect. So that was my issue with them. As far as how long they last and stuff, they lasted, I think, about a week or so. I work in healthcare, so I'm constantly washing my hands, and so yeah, I mean, I don't expect these to be on my hands or on my nails for extremely long periods of time. Like, I'm expecting them to be on my nails probably half of what the average person will have them on. Whenever I look into these things, I'm not looking so much for how long lasting they are. I'm more so just looking for it looks good on my nail. I just wasn't totally satisfied with the Dashing Diva type of nail. Really like that Ohora offers a UV lamp. For the first purchase that you ever make with them, they offer you a free lamp. You just have to put in a little discount code, which I believe is FREEVT. I just bought one set of nails and I bought the lamp, which the box looks like this, and then it has some instructions and stuff on the back, and then on the inside has a little lamp You also get an instruction manual in here which tells you kind of how it works, but it's pretty basic. They essentially give you a little cord for you to plug into your computer to also connect to this so that your lamp is able to charge. It looks super duper simple. You can just bring out the little legs and it works like this. It's really small. I honestly thought it was gonna be bigger from when I saw it on the images, but that's okay. I mean, it really doesn't have to be huge. What I found some people to be doing whenever they would do their nails is they would put like their whole hand under it, but I feel like I'd rather do just like a few fingers at a time to give them a more holistic cure. When you put your whole hand under it, I feel like parts of your hand are getting the UV light that don't really need to get the UV light. So I'm actually going to plug this in for a moment. I think your computer needs to be on when we do this. So some of the things that they specify on the website is that your nails really need to be dry and free of any dirt or oil that could be present on your hands. So it's really important for you to, one, wash your hands obviously, and then use things like what they have on their little kit. When looking at the kit, you will find obviously the nails. You will also find this little cuticle tip with this little guy right here. I think this one, these are kind of more for the removal, but I believe this one can also kind of help if you have like a gem on your nail. They also have a handy dandy file, and then they have these little prep pads that are also going to help to maintain your fingers and your nails nice and clean as you prepare to put on your nails. And one thing that I did want to mention beforehand is that on the website they have like these top coats and basically these other care items that you can use along with your whole nail process to ensure that the nail is as cured as possible and stays as long as possible. I just found that probably the most important thing for me, especially for my first time trying it, would be to get the light for sure, as well as having the actual nails themselves. As long as I was able to also have access to the little prep pads which come with every single little of these nail kits, I would be good. So if it turns out not to be as good, then maybe in the future I may consider using those. But for this one, I just didn't really feel like it was absolutely necessary. I just felt like the prices were gonna go up and up and up. And something that I saw on Tina Young's video, which I also really recommend. This is a video that I watched before creating my own. She has some really great tips in her video as well. But one of the things that she mentioned is that you can find these little UV lamps. It doesn't have to be this one. You can find them for like $5 online, and the one that they offer on the Ohora website is $18. And so if this isn't your first time purchasing and you're not able to get that first time discount code to get the free lamp, then I would consider probably go on another website and purchase it for cheaper, because when it's not free it costs $18. So that's a lot of money saved there. Alright, so this is what my set looks like. I picked this dainty flowery cherry, well not flowery, it's just cherry and this cute little checker style. And you may be able to see that on this one it says that this is basic, whereas the other one says point. So I am honestly not too sure what that means. I'm just thinking perhaps it is that these are more like your every nail type of gel cover, whereas these are more like your standout. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like there's a little bit of a difference in how it feels. But one thing that I wanted to point out is that all the nails feel very like 3D. They're very thick. It truly feels more like a gel, especially when you compare it to the Dashing Diva one. I don't know if it's just the ones that I got, but mine are really matte and a lot thinner and not 3D. The ones that felt a little bit more 3D were these, which are probably kind of like the point ones that would be these. But even then, it just does not compare at all. It's a very different texture, which isn't a bad thing, but it's very obviously different. So I'm actually very scared that the nails are gonna fall off earlier than the allotted time. So I actually got some alcohol and I sprayed it on my nails just to make sure that they were fully dry. The cool thing about alcohol is that it dries super duper quickly. You don't want to be touching the actual gel nails if you have any sort of alcohol in your hands, because that can kind of mess up how gel-y they look. So I am going to use the little prep pad on my nails. And I am even going to get the tips of my fingers because that's where a lot of oils can lie as well. The same thing for my other hand. So you just want to give them a second to dry off. And I am so indecisive when it comes to putting these things on. So I literally don't know what I'm going to put on what nail. Alrighty, so I think I've made my decision. So if you guys can see, if you kind of just raise this up a little bit, you'll be able to see there's a little strip that comes off here. So essentially you want to be touching the actual nail from the opposite side of the cuticle. So I am essentially starting from the corner and then working my way over to the other end. So I basically started by putting it on this corner and then just kind of stretched it over so that it would meet on the other end. And I think this is where it's very important also to make sure that your cuticle really needs to be lined up with this part, because mine looks a little bit dorky right there, but it's okay. I just didn't push my cuticles up farther enough. And as you might be able to tell, there's a little bit of residue right here. So I'll be able to cut that in just a moment. Oh wow, stuff is really sticky. And I am essentially just going to cut as close as I can to the actual nail, because once it's cured it'll be harder and then it should be a lot easier to file as compared to like the Dashing Diva ones, or Dazzling Diva, I forgot. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the nails on the rest of this hand and then I will move on to the curing process. Well, I stretched the cherries out a little bit too much, so it looks kind of fat right here compared to this one. I made a boo-boo here. I made the mistake of not stretching this one out or starting at the very tip over here, thinking that I might be able to kind of pull it on the sides, but I just find that it's much easier to start at one tip and then move on to the other and stretch it out as you go off to the side. And then another thing that I have noticed whenever you're using actual nail clippers is that pieces of the nail actually will get stuck on here because it's very sticky. So I find that using this little wood thing really helps. So this is how my nails look without curing them yet. They look a little bit wonky on the edges. I feel like I did a pretty okay job with the exception of this one because I didn't stretch this one out. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell that this one, yeah, just the application wasn't like the best. These I did a better job at stretching them, but you can definitely tell with certain designs that you've stretched them because when you compare these little cherries compared to these, they're a lot wider. So you can tell, and you can tell a little bit of stretch here too, but it doesn't look bad, I don't think. But anyways, let's go ahead and cure these. And it actually says on the website to do this about 2 to 3 times. So I am going to do this a second time now. And I'm just doing my index, my middle, and my ring finger. And then I will move on to do the other two kind of at their own time. I know it's a little bit more time consuming, but it just feels more comfortable for me to do it that way. If you are okay with doing it any other way, that's totally fine too. And the cool thing about this is that it's already timed. So I believe if you do a quick little push, it turns on for about 45 seconds. And if you do a longer push, then it's 60 seconds. Alrighty, I am back and everything is cured now, and I can definitely feel, especially towards here on the tips of my nails, I can definitely feel that it is harder than when I originally put them on. So it should be easier to file because, as you guys may be able to see, the tips of my nails are still a little bit wonky. And then this one, it looks already kind of strange as it is, but it has nothing to do with the Ohora nails at all. I had recently taken off nails on my own and it kind of just left an indentation there from when I was trying to remove them. So that's what that is. I just couldn't really wait for the nail to kind of like grow up on itself again. So I just really wanted to try out these nails too. So the filing process of it definitely makes it look a lot cleaner and more, well, not professional, I wouldn't say that, but it definitely makes it look a lot cleaner and really cute. Okay, so this is how they look once I have filed them. I think that it truly makes a huge difference once you file them after the fact because they're already cured, so they are a lot harder now than when you first started. You truly are able to kind of mess with them. If you really wanted to give them another cut at the second time, then you totally could. But I just thought that I had already cut enough and I just wanted to kind of file it a little bit. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. One thing is that I probably will go back to cure 1 or 2 fingers here or there. I found that for this finger right here, it was peeling off a little bit here on the edge, so I'm just gonna go back and kind of mess with that. But yeah, as far as how the nails themselves look, I think they look really good. One thing I would say is when you're filing them, you will definitely be able to tell how hard they feel. So if you kind of compare a finger to another and one still feels kind of flimsy, then you would know to cure that finger one more time. I'm really happy with how my nails turned out. I was hoping for the best, but I didn't have such high expectations. I think that these really met my expectations really well. One thing that I will want to check in with you guys about is how the gel nails are going to pick up at the edges, like whenever I wash my hair and things like that. But so far, I'm really happy with how these turned out. I think they look really cute. I like the cherry little details that they have. I think that the quality is amazing. Now for some of the cons, I will probably say is the shipping cost because it is coming from Korea, and they only give you one option for the shipping, not like expedited, but it is really fast. It came to me within a week, so that was really cool. However, I don't know if I was very comfortable with paying $15 for shipping, which is what it ended up to be. So originally I had put in 2 different nail sets in my cart, but because of the shipping I just decided not to, especially if I wasn't sure whether I was going to like them or not. So I first wanted to give them a try, and then if I really liked them, then I would go ahead and purchase later on, and maybe make it a purchase where I would buy in bulk or buy multiple if I was gonna have to end up paying for that shipping price. But so far I really like them. I really like the look of them, and I am really interested in trying different designs. Another thing that I would say about the design is that if you have a very specific art on your nails, then what I would say is to kind of be careful with how you stretch them, because stretching them is an important part for the gel to cover your entire nail. However, if you have a little art piece in your nail, kind of like how I had my cherries, you guys may be able to tell that this cherry looks a lot bigger than this other one, and that's from when I was stretching out my nail. And a similar thing happened, actually I think it happened on this finger. The cherries on the bottom are a lot bigger than the cherries on the top of my nail. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you have something like a gem or just a straight color, then that's not going to be an issue. But if you have little drawings, and I know that they have a lot of cute little things like little bears and whatnot and art that is really cute, but just kind of keep that in mind whenever you are stretching them out. Maybe size up on that specific finger. As far as how they compare to Dashing Diva, I would definitely say that I really enjoy the Ohora way over the Dashing Diva, and that's just because it looks a lot more professionally made. The quality is just really good, and from curing it with a UV lamp, the gel itself that these are made of is really high quality as well. It's very shiny and sleek, and I assume that if you were to put a top coat, it would probably look even better. But yeah, I genuinely am really liking this so far. If it wasn't for the shipping, I would tell you guys all to just go and buy them right now. Obviously, if you're in Korea, the shipping is probably not going to be bad, or maybe in different areas of the world. But as far as for here in the US, and specifically for me that I live in Texas, it was just a lot of shipping. So if that's something that doesn't really bother you, then go for it. Or if, like me, if you really like them, you may want to try to buy them all in bulk, so that it's a little bit more worth your money at that point. I'm curious to try these on for a little while, just to show you guys what they look like as time goes on. I'm not going to hold them super accountable if they fall off in 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks I feel like is the standard. I take them off right away, or I'm constantly changing the look of my nails. Hello you guys, this is me about a week later, a week and maybe like 3 days. I feel like the nails themselves look pretty good. You can tell that there has been some growth, especially when you look near the cuticle line on each of my nails. You can kind of tell. Some of them also are starting to rise up a little bit. I guess I would probably say more so like my pinkies. Maybe you guys can tell. But the stickers on my pinkies are starting to raise up a little bit more. But I would definitely say that they are certainly holding up quite well. I'm really happy with the result. I don't quite feel ready to take them off yet. It's only been a week. One of the things that I would say is that pretty early on, I began having that problem whenever I run my hands through my hair would kind of get stuck in between, kind of like here in the cuticle lines. But that was kind of expected for me. So I personally don't think of it as like a huge problem, because that just kind of tends to happen with press-ons or just any type of nail that isn't done professionally. And then, well, one thing that I noticed is I believe this is the only finger that this happened to, but on the nail on my thumb, it was more so like a crack, different cracks starting to form near the outer edges right here. I don't know if you guys are able to see that. Hopefully, maybe not. I don't know. I genuinely feel like they still look quite similar. You can kind of tell that some time has progressed, which is fine. Because I'm not fully ready to remove them just yet, I wanted to show you guys some methods of how to remove them in case you were interested or wondering about that. So in your little packet, they're going to give you a little baggie that includes this little stick as well as a little filer. So the important one for the removal is going to be this little stick. I've seen multiple videos now of people removing them, so I feel pretty confident that this is going to be the tool that's going to help you out quite a bit. Tina Young has said that you can remove it using cuticle oil on all of your fingers. But the majority of the videos that I have seen use acetone, and that's probably what I would go for as well. Like, I don't really want to waste a lot of time and trying to figure out, see what works, what doesn't. So I would think that acetone would probably be pretty good at helping you take this out. So essentially, all you need to do, basically we just want to put some acetone on this flat part of the little stick that comes with it, because there are two sides. There's one that looks a lot more pointed, and then there is the one that kind of has like a flat part to it that also ends as a tip, but this is the one that you want to use, and that's where you want to dip some acetone in. You want to go through the edges of the nail and basically just kind of do this back and forth little motion in ensuring that you are removing all of that. And then of course, as you remove more part of the nail, you can go a little bit closer in and then to finally remove it. From the videos that I've seen, it doesn't cause any issues with your existing nail underneath, so hopefully you guys don't have an issue removing those. That's how the majority of the video do it. You just put some acetone, kind of go like this throughout all the edges, and then just remove them. Seems pretty simple to me. I just wanted to keep them for a little bit longer and enjoy them because I truly have liked these nails a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you were kind of curious about this brand, I hopefully cleared up a couple things. And if not, definitely leave me a comment down below with any questions that you might have. In addition, like I said, I really recommend Tina Young's video here on YouTube as well. She did an amazing job describing and explaining everything. It's really not a difficult thing to do. If you're very meticulous like me, you'll take longer than the average person. I believe on the website it says 10 to 15 minutes or something like that, but for me it took me a long time, obviously because I was filming the video, but also because I'm very meticulous. I didn't count how long it took me to do this. Allow yourselves at least like 20 minutes, and if you finish before that, then great, but if you don't, that's fine. Like, some people are just kind of willing to just like slap the thing on them and that's it, but if you're really gonna be like looking into like the side and like stretching it and like messing with it and everything, and if you file and if you cut and all that stuff, in addition to how long it's gonna take you to leave your hands in the UV lamp, if you put your lamp over all your nails, then that obviously cuts the time as well. So I would probably say 20 minutes is a safe number to kind of go by. It really shouldn't take that long either. Don't expect to be done in 5 minutes either, because that's just not possible. That's like not even enough time for them to cure if you're doing it 2 to 3 times. If you've tried this brand, I would like to know what you think about it, or if there are similar brands to these that are not the Dashing Divas that you also like. I know that I was really hard on Dashing Diva on this video, but I just feel like it really just wasn't my thing. I know that a lot of people genuinely like that brand. Definitely some perks to the Dashing Diva is that you will find that brand at a lot of different stores like Target and probably Ulta. It's just way more accessible than having to wait a week or having to pay for shipping. So in that sense, that's where I would say that Dashing Diva is better than Ohora, but as far as the actual look and the finish of the nails, Ohora is definitely better in my opinion. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!